Yamis. Which of these methods have you used with your students? Grammar, translation method, direct method, total physical read. Which of these methods have you used with your students? Grammar, translation method, direct method, total physical response, communicative language teaching.
Grammar translation method is a good method when you are starting teaching English as a foreign language. Not all the words you need to translate, but you need to translate some of them. Direct method also I use because I work with direct instructions, so my students have to follow them and have to accomplish them. And communicative language teaching. We use communication for everything, so they need to give a response of in English, even if they have to repeat. Yeah. So as I work with little students, I need to work with all of these methods because they need to react or repeat or need to listen the translation of the word.
Okay. From two methods you have chosen, how do you apply them with your students?
I already said. Grammar translation method when I am teaching words difficult in Spanish and difficult to understand in English. The communicative language teaching, that is what I use every day because I try to use English most of the time for instructions, for directions, for different things that the students have to do, so they understand even without translation. Total physical response we also use when they need to, for example, to go outdoors and to see something that they need to get familiar or they need to acquire more vocabulary.
Okay. Which multiple intelligence are the most common to find among students? Logical, mathematic, visual, spatial, body, kinesthetic, musical, rhythmic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, verbal, linguistic, naturalist.
Well, actually, multiple intelligences are, yes, they exist, but they don't exist one without other. So, I mean, you don't only need to work with, for example, logical or visual. You need to work with logical, visual, kinesthetic at the same time, and interpersonal. So, um, I don't work just with one because it says multiple intelligence. So, in English, when you are acquiring a new language, students need to see, understand, listen, touch, feel. They need to do everything at the same time to get the complete meaning of the word.
Okay. Which do you consider are the most important multiple intelligence for learning English?
No one. I mean, all of them. So if you have more than 8 multiple intelligences, I consider that all of them are important. I cannot choose any of these because I work with many at the same time, many of them at the same time. So it's not it's not it's not a good idea to take one and say this is better because that is not true.
Okay. Which computer assisted language learning helped you in teaching English? A blog, a social network site, a YouTube, wiki, electronic text corpus, others.
With little kids, YouTube is the best because students have to watch videos, listen, and that is, for example, extra material for the teacher. But it depends of the age. because, for example, for little kids, videos are more interesting, and maybe for students in the high school, a wiki is better. So it depends of the age.
Okay. And finally, which of these mentioned before have been more effective in your classes?
For little kids, YouTube. For older kids, I consider that, for example, gaming is a good strategy to work with the students, not just, for example, a wiki or a social networking site, but gaming like quizzes, like a Kahoot. Those tools help students to develop many skills, and they enjoy by learning. Mhm.
Okay, thank you, teacher.